Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spell Connection, and as I mentioned this past weekend during the House of X unboxing series, I had a second case of the set on the way, and it got here, and I've since opened it up, and I figured I would show off the highlights, basically. After all, I mean, out of the first case, I got all the commons, all the uncommons, most of the rares, so, you know, no need to, you know, and once I start duplicating stuff in the unboxing series anyway, I don't show it off, so why show off the duplicates, right? So, kicking things off, we'll start with the commons and make our way to the chase. Starting things off, we got the one common we didn't pull from our first case, Haddock. Havoc comes in at 50 points, has the X-Men team ability as well as the X-Men or Hellions, Starjammers, X-Factor, and X-Men keywords. He's also got a trait, Sibling Rivalry. Leadership. Once per turn, when a friendly character named Cyclops hits, modify Havoc's combat values by +1 this turn. So it's the same as Cyclops' Sibling Rivalry trait. Looking at his dial, we get a few clicks of running shot, followed by a couple clicks of sidestep. We get some early to mid dial pulse wave, followed by some late dial energy explosion. We've got Indomitable, which is actually kind of a surprise, to me at least. I mean, not saying anything against Haddock, it's just that, you know, I'm kind of surprised to see that they actually opted to give him Indomitable. We have a few clicks of toughness, followed by a couple clicks of inertial deflection. Okay, kind of a basic dial. You know, nothing really spectacular. Next up, we have the set's rare prime, Emperor Vulcan. Emperor Vulcan here comes in at either 175 points or 90 points and has the Cosmic Power team ability. He also has the Imperial Guard, Shi'ar, Cosmic, and Ruler keywords, as well as a trait, Omega level energy manipulation. Pulse Wave. Emperor Vulcan can reduce penetrating damage and is protected. Pulse Wave. Ooh, that's something, all right. Looking at his dial now. Whoa. We open up with a few clicks of running shot, followed by 4 clicks of hypersonic speed, then a few clicks of sidestep to finish things off. On attack, we open up with a few clicks of penetrating psychic blast, then we get a long block of precision strike. Defense, we open up with impervious, which then gives way to the special defense power, Cloak to Destructive Energy, Stop, Invulnerability. Then that then gives way to regular invulnerability, and then we get on his last click another click of Cloak to Destructive Energy. On damage, we open up the special power Magister of the Shi'ar Empire, which gives him leadership, as well as the following ability. When another friendly character that shares a keyword KOs an opposing character, after resolution, remove an action token from that character and Emperor Vulcan. Okay, alright, that's actually kind of neat. So, on an Imperial Guard or Shi'ar team, he's actually really great. Well, also same with Cosmic and Ruler. And hey, all the members of the Quiet Council have the Ruler keyword, so yeah. Then we get some a couple late dial clicks of Range Combat Expert. But not bad for the rare prime. Not bad in the slightest. Next up, we've got Prestige. It's nice to finally get a Rachel Gray Summers, whichever last name she's using this currently. I think she's currently using Summers with her current code name of Prestige. She comes at 75 points, has the X-Men team ability as well as the Excalibur, Phoenix Force, Starjammers, X-Men, and future keywords. Then, looking at her dial, we get a few clicks of Mind Control, followed by a few clicks of Running Shot. On attack, we get some Precision Strike, followed by some Pulse Wave. On defense, we open up with a couple clicks of Super Senses, followed by a few clicks of Willpower. And then we have on the last click, we have a Stop click. I can still feel the Phoenix when I'm alone, which grants her Toughness and Willpower. Then on damage, we open up the special power Omega level Empath and Psionic Shielding, which gives her Outwit. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character within range and line of fire that shares a keyword. Until your next turn, that character has protected Outwit. Okay. We then get a few clicks of probability control, and then one final click of the special damage power. So, pretty good for 75 points. I love the fact you can give someone protected outwit. Next up, we've got Kid Omega, making his second appearance in HeroClix. Kid Omega comes in at 65 points. Has the Avengers, Phoenix Force, X-Force, and X-Men keywords, as well as the Mutant CIA trait, granting him stealth, as well as improved movement and targeting through hindering terrain. He also has another trait, Omega Level Telepath. Gives him mind control, and when he uses it, he has improved targeting, ignores elevated terrain and characters. So he can. The only thing he doesn't ignore in any way, shape, or form for his mind control is blocking terrain. And you can use mind control as a close action, so if he's adjacent to an opposing character, you just mind control them. Alright, so looking at his dial, we've got a couple clicks of sidestep to start off with, followed by a couple clicks of running shot, then back to sidestep on the last click. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of precision strike, followed by a few clicks of penetrating psychic blast. Defensively speaking, you open up with willpower, followed by a stop click. You want to get nasty, which also gets some super senses. We then get regular super senses after that, for a couple clicks. And on damage, we've got a couple clicks at the beginning of the dial of shape change. Not bad. Here's hoping that we get the rest of his of the Avengers West Coast lineup he was part of pretty soon. Preferably in this year's Avengers set, because I mean, let's be honest, there's always an Avengers set anymore. Next up, we've got Hope Summers. Hope, as of House of X, is part of the Five. Putting her mutant messiah days behind her. Anyway, Hope comes in at 50 points, has the 5 X-Force and X-Men keywords, as well as 2 traits. First off is the 5, Hope Summers. When another friendly character is chosen for the Krakow Revival trait, after resolution, choose a standard power that character can use. Hope Summers can use that power this game. Okay, alright. So, yeah, you definitely want to be running her with a Krakow Revival team. Next up, we have Psionic Power Duplication. As a free action, choose up to 3 standard powers that adjacent friendly characters with the X-Men keyword can use. Hope Summers can use those powers until your next turn. Okay. So, first off, anyone that is chosen for Krakow Revival, as well as any 3 possessed by adjacent friendly characters with the X-Men keyword. Wow. And, okay, yeah, those 3 are only for that turn, while the ones from the Krakow Revival are for the game. But still, you know, that's pretty nice. That's pretty awesome. Looking at her dial, we get a full run of stealth and nothing on attack or defense. On speed, or on damage, we get a couple clicks of enhancement, followed by a couple clicks of close combat expert. Okay. Next up, we've got the final member of the 5, Proteus. Now, in House of X, Proteus has been resurrected as part of the 5. His reality manipulation abilities are kind of useful and are rather useful for resurrection protocols. Now, when it comes to him having a body, the big thing there is he's constantly, usually once a week or so, his mind gets placed into a new Xavier clone. Anyway, so Proteus comes in at 65 points. He has the 5 and X-Men keywords. He also has the 5 trait. The 5, Proteus. When a friendly character is chosen for the Krakow Revival trait, during their next turn, that character deals penetrating damage and modifies damage by +1. Okay. Looking at this dial, we've got a click of charge, followed by a few clicks of mind control, and a click of stealth at the end. On attack, we open with nothing, but the rest of his dial is all steel energy on attack. On defense, he's got Impervious to start with, followed by a few clicks of Super Senses, followed by a couple clicks of a click of his special defense power, running through host bodies. Stop. Mastermind. Then on damage, we open up with a special power, a firmer grasp on reality, which grants him exploit, weakness, and perplex. When Proteus uses perplex after resolutions, you may move the target 1 square. Okay, alright. And then at the very end of that, we get a single solitary click of regular perplex. Alright. Now, on the super rares, first off, we've got Jubilee. And yes, that is her baby Shogo on her back. Jubilee comes in at 50 points, has the X-Men team ability as well as the Excalibur, Generation X, X-Men, Monster, and Mystical keywords. We got the Excalibur Mystical Protector's trait, which grants her the Mystics team ability, but only for against range attacks. And she also has protected Mystics. Looking at her dial, she actually has a split dial, and we'll get to that in a moment. So, the initial dial, which is her, we get a few clicks of, we get a full run of sidestep, a full run of energy explosion, a full run of initial deflection. She's also got Indomitable, which again, I'm pleasantly surprised by that. On damage, we open up with a special power, Shogo's Transformation. Free, once per game for all characters with this power. If it's your 5th turn or later, or the map's name includes Otherworld, turn Jubilee to click number 7. Okay. Then we get a few clicks on Perplex. Then now looking at the other dial, we got a full run of special powers on both speed and attack. On speed, the special power is You're Not a Human Baby. Running shot, flight, giant size. Jubilee has protected Outwit and Pulse Wave. Attack, Dragonfire. Modify range +3. Penetrating Psychic Blast. As a free action, remove all non-debris terrain markers within range from the map. Also of note, her permanent range is 5. So that Dragonfire makes it 8. Defensively speaking, we've got a full run of Invincible, and on damage of a full run of Shape Change. Not too shabby, Jubilee. Not too shabby at all. Next up, we've got Black Tom Cassidy. Black Tom here comes in at 65 points. He's got the Brotherhood of Mutants, X-Force and X-Men keywords, as well as the Mutant CIA trait, granting him stealth, improved mood, and improved targeting and hindering terrain. And another trait at 1 with the island, which grants him shape change, but only if he occupies hindering terrain. Okay. Alright. Looking at his dial, we open up with a few clicks of special speed power, Krakowan Defense System, which gives him sidestep. And as a free action, if Black Tom occupies hindering terrain, place him in a square of hindering terrain within 5 squares. Okay. Then a couple clicks of Plasticity. On attack, we open up with a few clicks of Smoke Cloud, followed by a few clicks of Poison. Defensively speaking, we open up with a few clicks of Vulnerability, followed by a few clicks of Toughness. Then on damage... Interesting. And we get a few clicks of Exploit Weakness, followed by a few clicks of Close Combat Expert. Okay, alright. Solid 65 points. No willpower, but oh well. Next up, we've got North. North is from Moira McTaggart's 9th lifetime, and is a mutant chimera. Among the DNA used to create him was the DNA of Emma Frost, as well as the DNA of Lorna Dane. Anyways, North comes in at 150 points or 75 points. It has the X-Men team ability, as well as the Horseman, X-Men, and Future keywords. We have 2 traits. First off is Mutant Chimera. When North uses the X-Men team ability to heal another character, this turn that character's attack value becomes 12. When another character uses the X-Men team ability to heal North, this turn's attack and damage values become equal to that character's printed values. Okay, so you kind of want to be a little careful with that. Make sure they've at least got equal or higher attack and damage values when using the X-Men team ability. Next up is Telekinetic Shielding, which grants him energy deflection. And when he's targeted by a non-adjacent character for that attack, you may choose that he can't use ESD, and instead increases the result of his impervious and shape change or super senses rolls by +1. Okay. Looking at his dial, we open up with special speed power, as you can see there. amplified control over mind and magnetism, which grants him running shot. When he uses it after resolutions, he uses either telekinesis or mind control at no cost. Okay. That then gives way to regular running shot. On attack, we open up a few clicks of penetrating psychic blast, followed by a few clicks of telekinesis, followed by a final click of pulse wave. On defense, we open up the special power perfected combination of mutant DNA, which grants him impervious and super senses, which then he can add one to the roll with telekinetic shielding. That then gives way to a few clicks of a couple clicks of invulnerability, back to the special power, then invulnerability, then back to the special power for the end. On damage, we open up the click of shape change, a couple clicks of outwit, a few more clicks of shape change, and one more click of outwit. Okay, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I think my only problem with him is the lack of willpower in any way, shape, or form. But beggars and choosers, right? Alrighty. So, next up, we've got Omega. This is this is Karima with a slightly modified paint job. This is her from Lawyer's Ninth Lifetime, where she was working in conjunction with Nimrod the Lesser. So, Omega comes in at 200 points, has the Cosmic Power Team ability as well as the Sentinel, Deity, Future, and Robot keywords. We have 2 traits as well. Adaptive Threat Protocols. When Omega takes damage, give her an adaptation token for each damage taken. So if she takes 5 damage, she gets 5 adaptation tokens. As a free action, remove any number of adaptation tokens. Until your next turn, her combat abilities modify Omega's combat abilities by +1 for each token removed. Okay. Next up is Regenerative Circuitry. The first time Omega will be KO'd, instead, turn her to click number 10, remove all adaptation tokens, and heal her 1 click for each token removed. Protected, Pulse Wave. Meaning that even if she's hit with Pulse Wave, it still, does its thing. Looking at her dial, which is, that's a bit... We get a few clicks of Running Shot, alternate for a while between Charge and Flurry before a final click of Phasing Teleport. Damage, we open with Pulse Wave, followed by a couple clicks of Penetrating Psychic Blast, then Precision Strike, then Steel Energy. Actually, back and forth between Precision Strike and Steel Energy. Then we get a final click of Pulse Wave. Then on defense, we open up with Invincible, a couple clicks of Impervious, then another click of Invincible, then Invulnerability for a couple clicks of Toughness, then a final click of Regeneration. And then on damage, we open up with a few clicks of special power, Polymorphic Alloy, which gives her Outwit and Shape Change. Then we get a block of Exploit Weakness, and then back to Polymorphic Alloy. Okay. Alright. For 200 points, yeah, she brings the noise. She's going to be a boon for Sentinel teams, that's for sure. Finally, we have our chase, Krakow. To be fair, this is probably the chase I was least excited for, which is probably why I have already in fact made arrangements to trade it. Anyways, Krakow comes in at either 125 points or 40 points, has the X-Men team ability, as well as the Horseman, Quiet Council, X-Men, and Future keywords. We've also got improved targeting in order to hindering terrain and blocking terrain. And we have four traits. First off, Simulacra body connected to Krakow. If Krakow is 40 points, he's KO when he crosses the red line. Protected Pulse Wave. Okay. Next, strategically placed safe havens. At the beginning of the game, generate 5 safe haven and hindering terrain markers anywhere on the map, at least 5 squares from any starting area and each other. Friendly characters with the X-Men keyword that are adjacent to Krakow or occupy one of the safe haven markers have power. Place this character adjacent to Krakow or in the square of one of his safe haven markers. Friendly characters with the X-Men keyword have improved movement in North's hindering terrain. Next up, the living island of refuge for mankind, or for mutant kind. Krakow has Phasing Teleport, Poison, and Smoke Cloud as free. I mean, Smoke Cloud is free, but he's also got Phasing Teleport and Poison. Finally, maintain all that Cypher was. When an opposing character within range uses Outwit, Perplex, or Probability Control, Krakow can use that power until the end of your next turn. Okay, alright. Looking at his dial, full run of Stealth, a couple of clicks of Incapacitate, followed by a few clicks of Quake, Indomitable. Click of Invincible, followed by a few clicks of Impervious, then a few clicks of Invulnerability. Support, followed by a few clicks of Battle Fury. Okay, alright. Still, just not that impressed with him. Now, there is one other thing. There is something else to look at. We did get, actually, in the other case, a whopping half-dozen new ID cards. Or, not ID cards, but team-up cards. First off, we got Cyclops' team-up card with Magic. If Cyclops is adjacent to Magic, he modifies his range -2 and can use Improved Targeting, ignores Elevated, Hindering, ignores and destroys blocking, and ignores characters. Okay. Next up, we've got an Emma Frost one for the Hellfire Club theme teams. At the beginning of the game, friendly characters get the X-Men keyword. Okay. We got two Mr. Sinister ones, both for the Marauders theme team, but apparently there are multiple Marauders theme team-up cards. The first one, when an opposing character with the Morlocks or X-Men keyword is KO, after resolution, you may KO an opposing bystander. Okay, so this is the Mutant Massacre. That's Mutant Massacre. Next up, when Mr. Sinister attacks only characters with the Mystics team ability, after resolutions, heal him 1 click and deal 1 penetrating damage to each hit character. Okay. That's an interesting one. Next up, we've got a Professor X one for the Illuminati. If one or more friendly characters with the Illuminati keyword are on the map, equipped opposing characters can't have their combat values positively modified. Okay. Alright. And finally, we have Karima with her robot theme team keyword. When establishing theme teams, friendly characters with this robot keyword get the Sentinel keyword. So she makes any robot theme team a Sentinel team. Alright. Anyway, that's it for this highlight video, I guess. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.